But we'll address all of that and more in a bit. Look at the indices first. We've got the first rate starting to come up on our screens anytime now. 47 higher in the Nifty. The Sensex is up about 130 odd points. Mid-cap index is up about a quarter. And so the Nifty bank is already slightly lower at this point in time. The Nifty heat map, I mean, just the 50 stock sort of picture, one snapshot view in terms of how many up and down will come up anytime now on your screens. But it's kind of slow, and it's a slow start, let's put it that way. Okay, it's more up than down, definitely. And some of the gainers and losers are on your screens now. So 50 odd points on the Nifty, 23, just under 23,300. Sribi.
Okay, well, let's look at what's happening on individual movers and shakers. L&T, the market is actually looking through this margin issue, because I guess the company's been guiding that it's sort itself out over the next couple of quarters. The order book intake is the one that the market is focused on, 3% higher on that stock. Tata Consumer's numbers are also being well received, almost 3% up there. There's some buying on Titan, up about 2%. Then some tech names come in. Wipro, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, these are stocks on the upside this morning. A little bit of pharma as well in the mix. Cipla, Dr. Reddy's having a good start to trade today. So that's largely on the upside of things. On the downside, the Bank Nifty, by the way, is decidedly lower already, 200 points lower on the Bank Nifty. Let's see what the individual constituents are doing. ICICI Bank about 0.5% lower, HDFC Bank 0.3% down, IndusInd, Kotak Mahindra, all of them down, but basically between 0.25% to about 0.5%. Other stocks that are lower are some of the metal and material stocks. JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Coal India. These are names on the lower side, even ONGC for that matter. So basically commodities are out of favor. Banks are looking slightly weak. It's consumer stocks all the way. Tata Consumer has now dethroned L&T to be the Nifty winner. 5% surge on Tata Consumer. But I guess even more earnings reactions and pretty big ones playing out in the mid-cap market, Rima.
Indeed. By the way, for Wipro, they won a multi-million-dollar deal from Etihad for IT transformation over a 5-year period, and that's pushing the stock up. But let's get to the mid-cap movers. On the way up, it's Navin Fluorine all the way, 7.5%. Early volumes are very, very high. Parag Milk, 4% up. There is a margin expansion for Parag Milk. And some of the other stock gainers include an Astral, again, earnings reaction. Biocon, the street was a bit disappointed with the margin performance, but the stock has opened up with strength. Ajanta Pharma, even Kalyan Jewellers, it's down 40% so far this year, but on the back of its numbers. And the company is also talking about debt repayment in the upcoming quarter. And Kalyan Jewellers has had a good start to the trading session. On the way down, you've got Concor under pressure. Again, here, margins have declined for the company. The overall EBITDA is down 10%. So Concor has down nearly 5%. So that's a big loser today. And Prestige Estates, we should get that stock up for you on your screen, 5% down. Bank of Baroda, Abhishek was telling us that it's been a subdued quarter. NIMs have contracted. Bank of Baroda is down nearly 3.5%. And OneSource Specialty, where there is an expected block deal of about 1,200 crore rupees, some supply pressure, perhaps. So OneSource is down nearly 2.5%. Some of the others, Vari Energies, 12% up on Vari Energies, again reacting to numbers. Walker, there is some announcement by the company on the exchanges, so that's pushed up the stock by nearly about 6.5%. Suzlon Energy has been having a couple of good days now, so Suzlon Energy is up and about in trade. And Whirlpool, another 5% gone on Whirlpool.
You know, the biggest volume-led gainer is Vari Energy, right? 12% higher, and stocks at about 24.66 coming through there. I mean, actually, it's possible that for on the, I think, solar wafer import duty, etc., tomorrow, perhaps in the budget. We'll have to see. But I read that as one of the sector-wise expectations, which anyway this time around. They're quite low. Suzlon is at number 2 in terms of volume-led gains, is up about 4%. Got smashed on the way down, but coming up almost about 60 rupee levels. L&T continues to gain 4%. I think we mentioned that. Navin Fluorine, etc. Hitachi Energy is up another 5% after yesterday's 20% circuit move. You know, the question for many of these names, of course, is valuations for Hitachi Energy. And we discussed this yesterday as well. We got what Premier Energy, again on the renewable space, 5% higher. Tata Consumer, 3.5% higher. Blue Jet, Biocon, Deepak Fertilizer, Walkhard, Astral. These are all between 2 and 4% up at this point in time. 2:1 in terms of advances to decline ratio. And We've got, the first rates coming through. Prestige is a 5% cut, so that's kind of stands out. And KPIT is down about 2.5% as well. We had the management of KPIT with us yesterday. Stock was, of course, a big mover on the upside, but it's seeing some profit booking coming through now.